You've gotten to see pictures of a few of the people that I went to Virginia to see. People like Amanda Demet, people like Mahalia Jean Pierre, whose face graces the cover of this year's video. You got to see Natalie Bollinger. You got to see Sage. You got to see Ed Simmons. The first ones to leave were the pretty ones, the ones with lots of options, the ones who really don't give a shit about anyone but themselves, but know how to manipulate. Natalie showed she didn't actually care about me. It was all a matter of manipulation. Her family did the same thing. I didn't just go to Virginia to see Natalie. I went there to see Mahalia Jean Pierre. I went there to see Brett Roloff. I went there to see Ed Simmons. I went there to see Amanda Demet. I went there to see a lot of different people. Because it wasn't just a trip to Virginia. It was an escape from my goddamn reality in Boulder, Colorado. The reality that because I couldn't take care of myself, I was just going to be victimized for the rest of my life unless someone gave a shit. Thank goodness Natalie Bollinger gave a shit. Thank goodness. Right? You'd think. Turned out she didn't actually give a shit about me. She didn't give a shit about anybody. She cared about reputation, popularity. She didn't care who got hurt, as long as nobody believed me. Well, hell no, y'all can kiss my ass. That's the thing about needing a friend or family member when you're called mentally ill. When you're called mentally ill, your friends and family members use that shit when they harm you. What the fuck makes you think they're ever gonna fucking help your dumb ass? Then we got idiots like this Dan feller with the Aspie World. He wants to talk about the prettiest problems we have. He also makes excuses for our predators. How about you tell the reality of how it is, Dan? Oh yeah, he lives a pampered life. He doesn't know what it's really like for us. So he posts up content based on what's going to make him a profit. A lot of stuff that if somebody helped me to do, I'd be able to do myself if somebody would help me to get it fucking started. But who ever helped me to get it started? Thank goodness Susan went in with me today. There should have been a lot more emphasis on her situation and her scenario with that feller yesterday. That old man likes to antagonize me the same way them youngins do. I say, I don't like the N-word. So what did he do? He started calling me the N-word over and over and over again. Some of y'all are already digging for excuses, right? You're going, hey man, I watched that video, and yeah, he was a dick, but he didn't call you the N-word. No, that was a video from 2 days ago that he didn't call me the N-word. And yes, I have recordings of him calling me the N-word here too. Yelling it out the window at me. I also got recording after recording of him in Hood River doing it. I also have recording after recording of the youngins here in Tillamook with their racist BS, dropping the N-bomb, thinking it's funny, being antagonizing as fuck about it. You know what? I've been through hell. The last thing I need is a bunch of fucking snot-nosed little whelps fucking making light of a goddamn situation that they're lucky they haven't had to endure yet. But these youngins are kind of dumb. Just like you were dumb when you were in your youth. I wasn't that bright in my youth. I was still smarter than everyone around me. I'm good at catching people lying. It's because people show their intentions, not just with their words, but also with their actions. If someone says that they care about you, and you tell them you were just assaulted, if they actually care about you, they want to do something about it. If they don't actually care about you, they'll tell you how fucking sorry they are. That's where you should grow a fucking set and remind them that sorry is a synonym for pathetic. But that they're not the same word and they don't have the same meaning. You're not sorry, you're pathetic. Don't pretend to give a shit about me and tell me how sorry you are. Now let me tell you something about Susan. She's apologized. Life happens. I apologize too, because life happens. But if life happens to her, I'm expected to understand, and I try to understand. When life happens to me, how many people try to understand back? No matter how many times I explain to people, hey, I need you to go in with me and take it seriously. I'll take the time to send you the evidence if you help me to turn it in, but if you're not helping me to turn it in, why would I bother? The more time of mine that you waste pretending that you're going to help me, that's more time that I could be getting actual help. Susan is still better help than any of y'all. She barely knows me. There's a lot of people like Molly Smith. Oh shit. A lot of people in town should have come forward at the very beginning, but they didn't. A lot of people were a part of the situation that should have come forward at the beginning, but they never tried. Nobody gave a shit what I had to go through. Nobody gave a shit about my fucking evidence. What they cared about was entertainment, making a profit, anything but the human being that they're supposed to protect. To this day, I still get this bullshit about how it must be my fault because I have a penis. There are women like Claire who have admitted that men do have it worse out here. There's a lot of women out here who will admit that. There's also a lot of women who are pissed off because although there's people that they see getting these services, it's the shittiest people out here getting these services. It's child molesters and alcoholics. It's violent people. Why are you rewarding them and harming us? Now, Misty, I've been in contact with her, sort of. She doesn't understand how it is that people can hijack her phone. She's got the phone with her at the emergency room. I wonder what she ended up in the emergency room for. Y'all don't treat your children with respect, especially your autistic children, but you demand respect from them. You demand perfection from them while they're taking hell that you wouldn't want to go through yourself. But I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm expected to just take it. When you want to tell the victim, hey, why don't you just let it go? That's what you're telling the victim when it's long-term abuse. When it's long-term systemic abuse. What they need is a friend or family member to go in with them who takes the situation seriously. Susan doesn't know enough about the situation to take it as seriously as it needs to be taken. But that doesn't make her a bad person. That doesn't make her a disrespectful wretch. That doesn't make her evil or anything like that. You know, when people screw up, it's pretty simple fucking screw-ups. My screw-ups were no different. They were pretty simple screw-ups. Now, there's a lot of people who promised to help me because it was a popular thing that they saw on the internet. And they wanted to get involved when it was popular. But I was cut off from getting help, from access to my resources. I was cut off from access to the people who were trying to help me. I was cut off from the money that was supposed to go to helping me take care of myself. I was cut off from the money that people sent me to help me. They sent that money to Candace Bondurant thinking it was going to go to me to help me. They sent money to Cara Rogers, a.k.a. Cara Mia, under the mistaken belief that that money was going to go and it was going to help me. And it didn't, because Candace Bondurant and Cara Rogers, a.k.a. Cara Mia, didn't give a holy fuck. Well, you guys want to tell me, hey, why don't you just forget about it and move on? I have moved over 50 times. I have to start over from scratch with nothing every time I move. And it costs thousands of dollars to get fucking started. I don't get thousands of dollars a month. Meanwhile, if it's not fixed in 30 minutes, like an episode on TV, then you just don't give a shit. You will literally let anyone do anything they want to me, whenever they want. And then talk over me, so that you don't have to hear what I have to say. That lady today shouldn't have talked over me. I also should have had the ability to record it, but in that basement, I wasn't able to. And that puts me at risk. Thank goodness Susan was there, but Susan has to go in with me and help me to get it taken seriously. I need somebody to act as a friend or family member. That means going in with me. And that means caring enough to listen to what I have to say. It means making the time when you say that you'll make it. Now, when Susan had those ideas that she had for if the contingencies didn't go right when we came to meet up, you know, I followed her plan. And it didn't work because of issues that she's got with her phone. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make her a bad person? It's not that I haven't made any effort. It's the people don't understand that without them giving a shit, I'm not going to get heard by anyone. Without them interrupting when I am interrupted and saying, hey, that's not appropriate. You need to listen to what he has to say. When it comes to writing it down, you need to take a look at what has happened to all the evidence. Where is it? Where is it sitting right now? A lot of it's in my car, some of it's in storage. Instead of believing anything that anybody says about me, why don't you try helping me with looking at the recordings, listening to the recordings, going through the fucking recordings, and calling the police? This all has to start with the police, and that's what all these people neglect to say. When the police sent me to TFCC, and they sent me right back to the fucking police, the police still didn't do their fucking job. They sent me back to TFCC, which is what happened again today. That lady at the courthouse wanted to send me to a bunch of places I've already been and had to go alone. The situation with that Murphy feller needs to be turned into the police, and they need to make accommodations for me instead of taking away everything that I have for myself by running me through goddamn hoops to services that are going to play victim when I try to turn in their friends. Small fucking town assholes. Meanwhile, they protect their child molesters around here. Every one of you who want me to shut up, every one of you got the same problem. You haven't found a way to make me yet. And I've told you what it'll take. If you ain't willing to put me in the ground, you ain't never gonna shut me up. These assholes prey on disabilities I don't have to try to prevent me from turning them in. And it works. It does work. Just like Natalie Bollinger. All the cops had to do was slander my fucking name. And all these people are going to make every excuse not to fucking speak up. That's what I need you to do, is fucking speak up. I don't need you to sit there like a meek little fucking forest mouse. You know goddamn well when they're breaking the law. You know goddamn well if that happened to your family, you'd fucking speak up and say, hey, no more of that bullshit. But do people do that with me? No, they don't. They just let me be victimized over and over. They don't bother to speak up. They want to talk to me about it, but they don't want to do anything to help turn it in to law enforcement. Meanwhile, when I'm told I should go over their heads, I've tried. The people over their heads won't let me do anything because the police didn't do anything. I can't get a goddamn victim rights advocate because cops won't do their jobs. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. Fuck every police officer in this country. The only people more disgusting than police officers, oh wait, there are none. There is nobody in the United States more disgusting than a police officer. Not even an American soldier. Although we got plenty of American soldiers showing why it is that the populace needs to be armed. We need to be armed so that we can shoot back at fucking soldiers. So we can shoot back. So we can defend ourselves. So that we are allowed the means to protect ourselves because this government will not do so. And neither will the cowardly people of this supposedly great nation. There is nothing great about this country. Nothing at all. The most disgusting part of this country is its citizens. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people, but which people are considered people? Which people are getting involved? Our predators have an active involvement in trying to make it legal for them to do the things that they're doing, while you have an active involvement in looking the other way and complaining everyone else looks the other way. It don't come down to right or wrong. Y'all are evil. You're horrible pieces of shit. That guy Murphy, I gotta wait. Try to turn him in. Tomorrow after work, Susan's gonna help me call a couple of places, thank goodness. But in order for me to get an actual advocate, I have to have someone advocate me as if a friend or family would. My friends and family don't know the first goddamn thing about me. When I hurt my back, we stopped being friends. When I hurt my back, I no longer mattered, and they no longer cared. Lady on the front cover of this. She's one of the people I was going to rescue in Virginia. It wasn't just Natalie. And yeah, I get that Natalie and Mahalia are both very pretty. Well, guess what? I was also going to see Amanda DeMette. She's not considered pretty. I was also going to see Brett Roloff, but I guess he is considered pretty. I've been told by many women that he's a good-looking dude, but that's not what I went to see him for. Sage is short as fuck. He's a pretty good-looking dude, but that's not what I went to see him for. Ed Simmons looks like a boiled asshole. He's not that good-looking a feller. But it wasn't about looks. It was about keeping my word and showing that I cared. Jamie was able to monopolize a lot of the resources that I had when she needed a rescue from James Payton back in 2016. That hijacked pretty much everything that I had to go on that trip to Virginia. Then when I was in Virginia, situations there, I was never allowed to defend myself against the slander. The slander was just assumed to be true, and I have to deal with the abuse to this day, because although I showed evidence to lots of people who looked at the evidence and said, yeah, Sean, it's pretty obvious you told the truth. Well, then why aren't you helping me to turn it in? I didn't send it to you for no fucking reason. I need somebody to actually take it seriously. Actually take it seriously. Is Misty gonna take it seriously? No, she's not. It'll always be something. If it's not something about the ER, it'll be, oh, well, I'm homeless, or, oh, well, I'm in a different state, or, you know what, I've heard every goddamn excuse that there is. That's what shows that you were never a friend. You don't even know what the fuck is going on, and you don't care. I know about Misty going to prison, and a lot of other things in her life. Why? Because she tells me. Why doesn't she know shit about what's going on in my life? Because she doesn't let me tell her. Just like the rest of you. This ain't a problem with my head, this is a problem with yours. What's the problem with you treating people like they're less than human beings and denying their fucking rights? And pretending that you did it all on your own? No, the hell you didn't. No, you didn't.